Your Honor, on March the 6th, 2022, Ms. Richins was at her home in Summit County, Utah, along with some family members, to include her sister-in-law. They entered into a verbal dispute over the administration of Ms. Richins' late husband's estate. During the course of that dispute, Ms. Richins struck in the neck her sister-in-law.
All right, so Ms. Richins, you've had an opportunity to consult with your attorney and consider this offer. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And do you have any questions for your counsel or for the court before I ask for your plea?
Nope, I don't think so.
So that was Cocky Kouri Richins in court. That's my nickname for her. She came off a little cocky to me. You're about to watch the whole court hearing. Now this was ironically Valentine's Day of this year, 2023. Kouri Richins appeared in court on WebEx to answer charges of punching her sister-in-law in the neck and face. Something about the way she kind of chomps on her gum and plays with her hair, sits there. She's wearing that same brown jacket she wore in her famous interview for her Are You With Me? Grief book. They're going to talk about grief also in this court hearing. Something about it just reminded me of she thought she was getting away with everything. Of course, this is before she was arrested and charged with doing away with her husband, Eric Richins, via poisoning. Ironically, since it was Valentine's Day 2023 that she showed up to court to answer to these charges against her sister-in-law, it was exactly 1 year after the Valentine's Day 2022 incident where Kouri allegedly gave her husband a poisoned sandwich with a love note, but that didn't do the trick. Eric, he broke out in hives supposedly, and he had to administer an EpiPen shot, his son's EpiPen shot to himself, and take some Benadryl and pass out. But 17 days later, as March 3rd bled into March 4th, that's when Kouri is accused of really doing away with her husband Eric, presenting Eric with a poisonous Moscow Mule drink. It was deadly. But by March 6, 2022, just a couple of days later, you'll hear the prosecutor explain coming up that Kouri would be accused of punching her sister-in-law, one of Eric's sisters, punching her in the face and neck when Kouri was in her garage having a locksmith drill open Eric's safe to try to get to around $150,000 he had in there. And that's when, lo and behold, Kouri discovered via her sister-in-law, look, you're not the beneficiary. This house is in a trust Eric put in for their 3 boys, and Kouri, again, I keep thinking she thought she was on Easy Street, but she found out, nope, Eric changed his will. You know, he was hip to your game. Kouri's lawyer, Sky Lazaro, this is the same woman we've heard in other audio. Thank God for Summit County sending me the WebEx video of this hearing. I'm grateful we got video this time. Kouri's lawyer plays up the notion that Kouri has been in grief counseling for some time now at this point when they were meeting. It'll be a condition of this domestic violence case. That's why Kouri is able to plead no contest, in abeyance. They'll just kind of put it on hold. Kouri thought, okay, a suspended 180-day jail sentence. You know, she's thinking, I don't have to go to jail. I don't have to do any time. She's laughing and smiling with her attorney as they wait for the WebEx to come into their case. She's like, you know, she just seems so blasé, whatever to me. Maybe she's appreciative for doing no jail time at this point. And so her plea is just that, okay, if I go through this grief counseling and not get in any more trouble, I can get away with this. I can get away with assaulting my sister-in-law. Now, they talk about grief counseling, and there are no mentions of that Are You With Me? Grief book for kids that would be dropping the month after this court appearance in March 2023. But little did Kouri know she would be appearing in court again March 8th, but not to enter a no contest plea regarding DV against her sister-in-law. She would be facing serious murder charges, accused of doing away with her husband. That's the one we heard the audio for in the previous video. Sounds like she was crying. In this February 14th one, Tuesday, February 14th, 2023, she just kind of looks like, you know, I got this. Thanks, Judge. You know, see you later. And that's why reminded me of 1 Corinthians 10:12. If you think you're standing strong, be careful not to fall. So that came to my heart and mind when I'm thinking, what do I include to close this off? Be careful when you stand, lest you fall. That's what this reminded me of, just watching Kouri. I don't know, she must have loved that brown leather jacket, chomping her gum, drinking her water, playing with her hair, whatever, whatever I did to my sister-in-law, who cares? As if she had that secret inside about what she did to Eric. It would soon come out. So watch the whole thing now and stay tuned for more information and updates. Take care.
Let's go back to Miss Lazara. Let's see if this sounds better.
Is that any better, Your Honor?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming up and fixing that.
You're welcome.
All right. So this is a pre-jury trial, pre-trial. Has there been a resolution in this matter?
There is, Your Honor. It's anticipated that Miss Richins, Mr. Bloodworth, are you okay with a no contest plea to this?
Yes.
Okay. It's anticipated she'll enter a no contest plea to count 1, that plea to be held in abeyance.
Is
For
that
12
12 months? 12?
Yeah, 12 months. Mm-hmm. And the terms are 180 days in jail, suspended, either thinking errors, anger management, or grief counseling. She's been in grief counseling for a period of time now, so I'll just submit proof of that. And then no new criminal violations, and then $1,080 fine plus the $25 plea in abeyance, or not fine, but plea in abeyance fee plus the $25 administrative fee.
All right. So a question that I have for you is, has she, the grief counseling that she's in, is she paying out of pocket for that, or is that covered with benefits or insurance?
She's paying out of pocket for that.
And, okay. I'm going to sweeten the pot a bit on this plea in abeyance, Mr. Bloodworth. The court will allow an offset from it would be $11.05 for the fee, up to $400 with the cost of the grief counseling and or thinking errors class, if I have those receipts within 90 days.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't know if that would help her, but hopefully that will offset part of the cost of those classes.
I appreciate that. Thank you. That does help.
All right. So, Ms. Richins, you've had an opportunity to consult with your attorney and consider this offer. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And do you have any questions for your counsel or for the court before I ask for your plea?
Nope, I don't think so.
All right. So to the charge of, and this is a plea, Mr. Bloodworth, Ms. Lazaro, to a domestic violence related assault. Is that correct?
That's correct.
It is.
All right. So to the charge of assault, domestic violence related, on March 6th, 2022, how do you plead?
No contest.
And are you entering the no contest of your own free will?
Yes.
All right. And you understand that by entering this no contest today, you're waiving your presumption of innocence and giving up your right to go to trial, to have a jury trial that we were scheduling. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. The factual basis, Mr. Bloodworth?
Your Honor, on March the 6th, 2022, Ms. Richins was at her home in Summit County, Utah, along with some family members, to include her sister-in-law. They entered into a verbal dispute over the administration of Ms. Richins' late husband's estate. During the course of that dispute, Ms. Richins struck in the neck her sister-in-law.
All right. Are they the facts as you understand? I understand it's a no contest plea, but what I'm asking is, do you understand that if this were to go to trial, they are the facts the prosecution would proceed with?
Yes, I understand.
Thank you. All right, the court finds there's an adequate factual basis to support the no contest plea and will enter this as the 12-month plea in abeyance. So today what's going to happen, what's going to happen is the court clerk will send you an email with some documents that you'll need to read carefully. Please go over them with your attorney, and if you have any questions, consult her so that then when you sign them and push finish, it'll transmit them back to the court clerk. There will also be a link to the suffolkcounty.org website where your fees can be paid online with credit or debit card. And let me stress that it does not have to be paid immediately. It must be paid by the 11th month. Your receipts for the cost of the grief counseling and or the thinking hours classes, if you provide those to the court will credit up to $400 towards that, but we need those provided within 90 days. I think that's everything we need on this. Any questions, counsel?
Nothing from me, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you for joining us, and you're welcome to log off at this time.
Thank you. Good to see you all.
Thank you. All right, let's go with Mr. Garcia. Sergio Garcia, I see